Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And Secretary Zinke, thank you for being here today. We miss you around here, but recognize that your leadership was desperately needed at Interior, and we're very grateful for what you've already accomplished. I recently read that the natural gas and oil industry supports about 10.3 million jobs nationwide, staggering number. In Georgia, we face some natural factors of navigating offshore development due to the migratory patterns of the right well. So to begin with, in your opinion, as good stewards of our land and oceans and so forth, do you believe that we can strike a balance between protecting our ocean environments and at the same time developing natural resources that provide not only jobs but financial opportunity and national security?
I absolutely do. And I think our oil, gas, wind, and above American energy policy is correct. It is better to produce energy in this country with reasonable regulation than watch it get produced overseas with no regulation. Secondly, morally, I don't want to see your kids see what I've seen in battle, ever. I don't want to be held hostage by foreign entities of our energy needs, and I don't want to see your kids have to deploy and fight overseas for energy we have here. Lastly, economically, every time America pulls up to a gas pump, we talk about the tax bill, how wonderful it was, and it is. But every time you pull up to a gas pump and you're paying $60 rather than $100 for a tank, that's $40 America has in their pockets to spend elsewhere and they need because American energy is producing. So yes, I'm pro-energy, and Interior has two sides. We have the energy side because we have offshore BLM property. We also have the conservation side, which is our parks and our public lands and our treasures. Yes, you can do it wisely because American industry has shown you can.
Let me jump to this third question that I had real quickly regarding preservation of our battlefields. We recently we were able to protect Kettle Creek, which was a very important place for the Revolutionary War in that battle. And I believe these are very important to preserve. So I would be interested to know if you have any ideas to improve the American Battlefield Protection Program, and I would like to be able to work with you in that regard, but want to know if you have any plans.
Well, our infrastructure bill that we have submitted and support that's in the budget addresses $11.7 billion of that. That includes our battlefields, to restore the landscape as it was when the battle began. Our battlefields are challenged. We have a lot of people going through them. The preservation, maintenance of the battlefields. We don't charge in many of the battlefields. We don't certainly charge in Gettysburg and most of them, which is appropriate because they're America's look into a very difficult period in our history. But the infrastructure bill that we're proposing looks at specifically battlefields, parks, wildlife refuges, and making sure that we are stewards of our greatest treasures, to include the battlefields.
We have some ideas, and we'd love to work with you on that and throw some of those ideas your way. Lastly, I just want to know, going back to my constituents, how can I ensure them that the department will not be in the same mess we're in now of $16 billion? What assurance can we give them that we're not going to repeat this process all over again?
Well, I would think there are certain issues that are not Republican or Democrat, and I would like to think that public lands and our parks are red, white, and blue. I think we all care for them. And there's been proposals to make this a longer term, but I think up front, is if we work together and we pass an infrastructure bill, again, it's new money, we will be in a good position to preserve our parks into the future and our public lands. It should be a bipartisan effort, and I'm hoping it is.
Thank you. I yield that.